Thank you, Don. Good evening. My name is George Kerestes, and I'm a National Park Service volunteer. It has been my honor to be invited once again by Don and his team to be part of your visit. In anticipation of your visit tomorrow, on behalf of the National Park Service and a grateful nation, welcome to the National World War II Memorial. And to those World War II veterans with us today and tomorrow, I say welcome to your memorial. To the Korean veterans, I say thank you for your service and enjoy your day here. And to the Marines with us today, I say happy birthday, the 237th birthday of the Marine Corps. It has been my honor to be a National Park Service volunteer at the World War II Memorial for the last 7 years and to play a part in honoring the greatest generation. This evening I've been asked to share some of the key elements of the World War II Memorial with the hope that this will help you during tomorrow's visit. On a number of occasions, I have been asked to give a tour of the memorial for 1 hour or longer. Not to worry, not tonight. However, these are some of the key points that we do like to share with the veterans and the visitors, because one important item is that memorial, as all the memorials in the city, are open every day of the year. On the eve of Veterans Day, I would like to offer the following. The American veteran is one of our greatest treasures. Those men and women who answered our nation's call, especially at times of our greatest need. I thank the Central Illinois Honor Flight and their guardians, who in 21 plus missions have transported over 1,500 World War II veterans to the memorial. In my 7 years as volunteering, I've extended my hand to over 20,000 World War II veterans inside the World War II Memorial and offered my thanks. And I count a number of the Central Illinois World War II veterans as part of that total. I still remember one of my first encounters with the Central Illinois Honor Flight when I asked a simple question: where is Central Illinois? And the answer may not surprise many of you, but the answer was not Chicago. I like to describe the World War II Memorial as 7.4 priceless acres between President Washington and President Lincoln that will tell the story of the World War II generation for all time. The years of World War II were a hard, heroic, and gallant time in the life of our country, when it mattered most, and entire generations of Americans showed the finest quality of our nation and of humanity. World War II was the most significant event in the history of mankind. It was a conflict which involved every man, woman, and child in our country. It was a conflict in which over 53 million souls departed the planet. In World War II, American sons and daughters, friends and neighbors, 16 million strong, fought on the battlefront to preserve freedom and civilization itself. At home, the entire nation united in a common purpose to support the troops and welcome and win the war. When peace came, more than 400,000 had given their life. Tomorrow, you will enter the memorial on the Pacific side. And if you can, I ask you that you look down where you will see a very large replica of the World War II Victory Medal. At least 10 World War II veterans, and the Victory Medal is a little smaller than the size of the table. At least 10 World War II veterans in my 7 years have said they have that medal on a wall in their home. A little bigger than the one that they got. In the figure, you will see liberation, a woman figure with the broken sword signifying the enemies defeated. She has her foot on a helmet of a Roman soldier. Now, we didn't fight Rome and ancient Greece in World War II, but if you carefully look up above you, there's a 5,000-pound victory laurel, and in ancient Greece, ancient Rome, when you came back a victor, upon your head was placed a victory laurel. So when you see that, or you're in the plaza, if you look back, you'll see a few things that connect the memorial. To me, the one word that best describes the World War II Memorial and the events during World War II is unity. As you walk through the memorial, I hope you see that unity theme. Each of the 48 states, 7 territories, and the District of Columbia are exactly the same size. These 56 pillars are adorned with 2 sculptured bronze wreaths, one depicting oak and our industrial might, all the things that we made, all the planes, the ships, the tanks, the bullets, everything that was made on the home front, and the other wheat spears signifying our agricultural might, all the food that we made for us and the rest of the world. The wreaths alternate front and back, so that gives you a unity theme as well. And then the Atlantic and the Pacific arches, the 2 wars, and you all know this, are exactly the same size. So as you go through the memorial tomorrow, I hope you see the same visual that I see each and every time. On Veterans Day in 1995, President Clinton dedicated the Rainbow Pool site. Soil from the 14 overseas cemeteries were scattered inside the memorial, and these hallowed grounds contain the soldiers from World War II whose family decided to have them rest overseas. And on that cold and rainy morning, nothing like you're going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow is just like today, maybe even a little better. President Clinton, speaking of the World War II veterans, said, "Let us honor the ideals they defended and the dreams they fought and died for," stating that from this day forward, this place on the mall belongs to them and the Americans' World War II generation. Opened on April 29, 2004, and dedicated on Memorial Day 2004, the World War II Memorial is now 8 years old. If anyone knows an 8-year-old who had a birthday in April, and you ask them today how old are they, we know what they would say: going on 9. So your memorial is going on 9 years old. It's kind of hard to believe that it's been that long since it's opened. In that time, somewhere close to 25 million people have visited the World War II Memorial. Inside the memorial are 24 bas-reliefs, 12 on the Atlantic side and 12 on the Pacific side. These reliefs were created by sculptor Ray Caskey. His work depicts both home front and battle scenes, highlighting the sacrifices and determination of the American people. When you see the bas-reliefs up close, you will see the faces of people who helped win the war. In the center of the memorial is the Freedom Wall. Here we mark the price of freedom. There are 4,048 gold stars. They are 3-dimensional and 7 slightly different size. Each one represents 100 Americans who died fighting for our freedom in World War II. One visual that I like to share with people who visit the memorial is when you see the water, if you think of the water inside the memorial as a banquet table, the guest of honor, those who died for our freedom at the head of the table, and then surrounding the table, all of the states and territories like Illinois or wherever state you're from. That's kind of the visual I see. Now you might want to know where Illinois is located within the World War II Memorial. And my answer to that is December 3rd, 1818. That's the day Illinois became the 21st state. If you have that visual of the gold stars as the center of the memorial and the water in front of you, in a military gathering, the next most important location is to the right. To the right is Delaware, our first state. Then across the way is Pennsylvania, our second state. Then New Jersey, then Georgia, and then you alternate. And if you continue the count to 21, you'll find Illinois. So we're not hiding it tomorrow, but that's approximately how you would find it. That's probably the only state that I know exactly the day they became the state. Anyone standing by Illinois, I say December 3rd, 1818, and they think I know the history of Illinois, but at least that's much I do know. Many people have the visual, and when we talk to them in the memorial, that many of the World War II veterans returned via the New York City ticker tape parade. As most of you know, that didn't happen to you. Matter of fact, after a long journey on one of those cruise ships or whatever it once was that was 5 or 10 times its capacity, or one very large plane, you arrived, took a train, took a bus, walked and knocked on your door to your home, and we're all glad that's one of the ways you came home. But we like to describe maybe what you experienced this morning or whenever your plane arrived at the airport as your little mini Fifth Avenue day. Because that is, I've been to the airport before, and it is, as everyone here I would think would describe, a wonderful occasion. And you never expect that from Washington. If there was such a thing as a World War II icon, I believe that would be Kilroy. Kilroy had that uncanny ability to appear in that most out-of-the-way, inconspicuous place. Every barn in Belgium, Luxembourg, and France, any veteran who has ever told us they thought they were the first one in, Kilroy had already found its way there. So tomorrow, you may want to find him at some point during your visit. He's located in 2 out-of-the-way spaces behind the Delaware and Pennsylvania State Pillar. I would like to share one additional comment on the memorial's 4,048 gold stars. As the symbol of sacrifice, they stand together on the Freedom Wall in silence, row on row, like the marble headstones in Arlington and the fields of white crosses in our World War II military cemeteries. If these stars could be inscribed, each one would have 100 names, 100 stories to tell. If you were to take a moment to add up the number of tomorrows represented by the 404,000 Americans who died in World War II, it becomes a staggering number. If they lived another 10 or 15 or 20 years, the answer is 3 or 4 or 5 or more billion, B as in billion tomorrows. A huge, huge price to pay for our freedom. And when we have visitors visiting the World War II Memorial, we remind them that there is a group that paid such a price for our freedom that we want to always remember their service. I would like to highlight the group that plays a key part in your memorial, Friends of the World War II Memorial. A key objective of Friends of the World War II Memorial is to ensure that the legacy, lessons, and sacrifices of World War II are not forgotten. In that connection, there are 5 commemorative events during the year. May 8th, which is VE Day, Memorial Day, September 2nd, which is VJ Day, Veterans Day, and December 7th. Those events, a visible volunteer presence, and a strong educational element all work to ensure your legacy. And tomorrow morning, it will be Friends' honor to have Central Illinois Honor Flight to be part of the Veterans Day program. In conclusion, I would like to read the announcement stone, which is on the 17-side entrance. And if you can tomorrow, find your way there, look around, and notice the location of the World War II Memorial. The Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial all around you. And then I would suggest if you have your guardian read the announcement stone, but I would like to read it tonight because the words inscribed for all time are so powerful. Here in the presence of Washington and Lincoln, one the 18th century father and the other the 19th century preserver of our nation, we honor those 20th century Americans who took up the struggle during the Second World War and made the sacrifices to perpetuate the gifts our forefathers entrusted to us, a nation conceived in liberty and justice. I look forward to greeting you tomorrow And as you enter the memorial, if you have any questions, I know your guardians will be more than happy to help, or any of the volunteers with the yellow shirts. We're all here to play a part in your special day, in this case, days. So enjoy your evening and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.